As they say, suicide is not an act of self-destruction. It is a tragic outcome influenced by societal factors. I believe it is crucial for everyone, including myself, to understand why people resort to such a hard step. People don't wake up one day and decide to end their life. There is often a complex interplay of pain, suffering, challenges, and adversities of life. As a teenager, I too have faced numerous problems, but the thought of suicide has never crossed my mind. So is it because people are incapable of coping with the life adversities? I don't think so. Let's consider the case of late Sushant Singh Rajput, whose suicide shook the entire nation. Sadly, we encounter such distressing news all too frequently, like a 15-year-old girl ending her life in Bimina area of Srinagar on May 8, 2023, or a teenager boy ending his life in Rambagh area on July 6. Relating these situations prompted me to seek a story that would provide answer to my questions and dispel my doubts about why people choose to end their life. However, many individuals understandably are still hesitant to share their personal and deeply affected life experiences due to societal stigma, and I don't blame them. Many individuals are still struggling to cope with their life circumstances. Ultimately, I came across someone from Baramulla who had survived 2 suicide attempts. His story could be life-changing for many. As he shared his life experiences and adversities, it became clear that his journey was marked by immense hardship. Narrates his story as follows. In 2012, after completing my 9th grade exam, I had a distressing encounter with army personnel. They stopped me due to a broken cycle and one of them slapped me for dropping it. I tried to explain myself, but I was brutally beaten, leaving me bleeding from my nose and mouth. I was punished for something that wasn't even my fault, and this incident deeply affected me. I was still grappling with this trauma when I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and I had symptoms of delusions. Concerned about my worsening conditions, I sought medical help. People at that time would label me as mad. I turned to drugs as a coping mechanism, which in return strained my relationships with my parents, my friends, and my teachers as well. I became isolated, seeking substances like cocaine. All while my parents were unaware of my struggles. My life was a mess, but it was my messy room that bothered my parents the most. At a certain point, suicide seemed like an only solution. I obtained a blade and cut my vein, hoping for an end. But I survived. I woke up in a dark room, alone and in excruciating pain. This agony persisted for 3 months as I started chewing that blade out of anger, anguish and frustration, and my life had become unbearable. Despite for a way out, another morning I took poison. As I began foaming from my mouth and vomiting, my parents rushed me to the hospital. I felt defeated and believed that no one could help me. My relationship with my parents deteriorated. They were aware of my struggles but didn't offer the support like how I needed it. And that's where the story changes. One fine day, as I deeply contemplated with the chaotic state of my life, feeling as defeated as one could possibly be, I took a long and hard gaze around my surroundings, and what met my gaze was a landscape of ruin, suffused with desolation and shades of grey. My once proud achievement had faded into obscurity, growing increasingly irrelevant with the passing time. While everything around me was moving on, I found myself stuck at a stagnant zone. Overwhelmed with all this bleak reality, I cried my heart out, and this deep anguish had become lullaby until I succumbed to sleep. I realized that I need to reclaim the joy again in my life. I took all the proactive steps to save myself. I reconnected with my faith, realizing that regardless of any religion, it discourages self harm. I found immense support from a friend who took me to a counselor and stood by my side. I started taking counselings, I started taking medications to overcome my drug dependency. I started praying, I started reading books, going to gym, and I started focusing on my career. When I committed to these chains, I felt a transformation. I wanted to rediscover my former self and I knew I could do it. I possessed the capability to rescue myself and lead a normal life again. Today, I stand as a testament to hope and resilience, serving as a doctor.